Hey everybody, the other day Edward and myself had a crash out on the road between my ARRMA Typhon Grom and his ARRMA Granite. The Grom came off somewhat the worse for wear, snapping off the top suspension strut on the front, or yoke. Had a look on YouTube to see if we could find any videos on how to strip the car back, because this is an integrated part, so it actually requires a full chassis replacement on the Typhon Grom. We couldn't find any videos online on how to do that step by step, so Edward asked if we could record ourselves doing it so we could upload it for his channel.
Please like and subscribe. This is my mummy's buggy, and then we drove it on the road yesterday, but we broke the yoke. The yoke, and see, it broke, but we need to take apart the whole car to fix the yoke. This is the new chassis, and the part that's broken. It's one of these, and it does this. It like. Are you saying? And this, and these two, when you push down on them, see they move. This one at the front snaps off.
You've got a new electric screwdriver. What do you think? Is that good? Do you think that'll make it faster?
Yes.
Okay. Right. There's the new chassis then. So what we'll do is we'll take the parts off, and we'll swap them over onto the new chassis as we go through. Let's unscrew it. That's it. Put all the wheels off. Shall we start by taking off the front suspension and drivetrain now?
I said yes, please, of that drill.
Oh, okay. There we go. And then that's it. Let's take off this cover. Edward, do you want to help?
Yes.
I think if we take this piece off on the bottom, and then we can turn the steering and get these two screws out, we can keep these steering linkages in place. We can take the whole piece out in one piece rather than mucking around and fiddling, okay?
And let's do it this way so that we can take out this one.
Good idea.
Then we will do this one.
Okay, all right, let's do that now then.
And then the next one. Swap it over. A bit more.
That's it. Done. Right, that's the steering linkages off. The next piece are the bits on the bottom, Edward. So let's get the smaller piece. So Edward, we need to take these 4 screws out underneath.
Okay.
Okay. These might be a bit. Okay. Well, I'm just going to loosen that one at the front end for you, just because it's got a little bit of dirt in, and I don't want it to... Okay, you do it then.
Appear to have a stuck pair of screws in here from all the dirt. So what I've done is I've got a slightly bigger tool here. Get it into the screw and then unscrew it. There it goes. So this was about the 4th different attempt. We tried rubber gloves, we tried a band, we tried adhesive. But yeah, that screw is shredded.
Yes.
Okay.
What did you do, Mommy?
I had to get a slightly bigger bit. So this bit's slightly bigger than the screws we've got, because we've taken it off a couple of times. They've gone a bit soft, and these were aftermarket screws, so they've succumbed to a bit of damage when we've been undoing it. So I had to get a bigger bit, use the hammer to get it in, and then I have undone it. So it's coming out now, which is good. But we will throw those screws away so we don't accidentally put them back in the car. So Edward, can you undo these 2 screws here now at the front? Just make sure it's in before you... That's it, good boy.
There we go, keep going. Nice. Right, straight away, just got screws in the top, so we don't lose them. Next one. Good boy, well done.
Edward, can you look in here for me? Can you see in there? Look, there's two screws in here. So I need you to undo those screws now, okay? So put the drill in.
Oh, there it is.
So now you undo that. Look what you're doing. Very good. Get that done. And then the next one. Line it up then. That's it, good boy. Look what you're doing. Well done. Excellent. That's your piece now.
The next step, we've got to pull this piece off the front now. Do you want to pull it off? Do you want to pull this piece off? Just pull it off of the car. That's it. Pull it straight out. Straight. That's it. Ooh, there you go. Okay, so that's that piece. Right, and then we need to pull these 2 out. There we go.
Oh, I still need to use those.
So now
Wow.
all of this comes out. See?
Whoa.
So can you see at the front here, Edward? There's 2 more screws there.
Yeah.
So we need to undo those ones now. Can you undo that for me,
Okay.
please? So get the screwdriver in.
You just stab me with a screwdriver, buddy. Come on, watch what you're doing. Really? Oh, no, hold it straight, otherwise you'll round it off. Good boy. That's it. Good boy. Always make sure it's lovely and straight.
This piece is going to come off the front, okay?
Okay.
So let's get our little screwdriver in. Hang on, just to prise it a little bit. Just get that in there, look. There we go. Prise it off.
Wow.
Okay, so that...
Oh.
Do not... Yeah, you're going to get covered in grease, darling. So that is...
How do I get this stuff off me?
Hmm?
I can't reach the paper towels over there.
Oh dear. That's a shame, isn't it? Right.
What am I gonna do?
You will live, darling. It's just a bit of grease. Right, we're going to pop that there. Lovely. Okay, so let's pull out these pieces, and that should pull, then all of the suspension should be out. Let's pull them. The suspension should now come away. There we go, look. So we didn't need to take apart those whole pieces. We've managed to keep them all together, which hopefully will save us a bit more time. Something we can do quickly, Edward. We can pull this bit out. Pull the strap. Can you finish pulling the strap out? Pull the strap. That's it. So that's the battery strap. There we go. You got it? Pull. Okay, we can put that in the new car, I think, almost straight away. Let's line these stickies up. There we go. I'll do that bit just because I don't want to get sticky if you don't like it on your hands. Okay, so that's the padding back in for the battery. Let's put the battery strap in again.
Well, is this meant to be wet?
No, it's not meant to. Oh, you mean the...
Yeah. Is it meant to?
Yeah, so that's the grease on it, that's the lubrication. So that is our first piece into the new car. Our first 3 pieces into the new car chassis. Okay, well, it's a start, isn't it?
Evening.
There we go. Right, first bit in. Okay. Okay, so I'm a little bit worried about using a screwdriver on these, so let's just take it really steady.
We've not taken this end off before. Take this round with a screwdriver, please. That one's loosening. Let's check the next one. Yeah, that one's not working like that. It's rounding very quickly.
Okay, so we've got another stuck screw. Gentle hit. And there it goes.
Okay, but we've got them all right, mate. They're all loose now. Maybe she'll come out. There we go. Who's up to the screwdriver then? Two of them. So I guess lesson learned here, Edward, is that each time we change these screws, we probably want to replace them because they seem to be quite soft. And we don't want to get ourselves in trouble with screws that are completely rounded off and stuck inside.
Okay, let's get the last one out then.
Probably doesn't help all the dust and dirt that we have around here. That probably makes it worse. There we go. Right, so that's that piece off now.
Okay, so Edward has decided he doesn't want to do any more this evening. I'm going to carry on and get the suspension off here and then see if I can get the rear drive shafts out as well.
trying to minimise the number of parts that we actually need to get apart here. If you keep everything together, that is preferable. Screw. Always make sure you keep all your screws set as well. Okay, so these have all come off now. There we go. Suspension out. And the other side, get the other side suspension out. Okay, let's put these pieces in.
Rear end, then we've got 4 screws in here to undo, so we'll take those apart next.
Next one. That would be on the left hand, darling, but that's your left hand, that's right. Well done. Okay, I cannot get that in there, so we need to use the normal screwdriver for that. So 2.5. Your fingers in all the holes. You are being an excellent helper.
You've got your gloves on, have you? Are you ready to help? Okay, so that's the
Mummy,
new...
Mummy, where's my mittens?
Your mittens? I don't know where your mittens are.
You can. I want to put them on when I'm doing this.
Okay. That's the other screw off.
If I can't find my mittens, I won't be able.
I'm not sure whether mittens are the best thing to use for taking the car apart, darling.
I can't find my mittens, but I use them now.
Okay.
I can't find it.
That's those screws done. So now this will expose the rear end.
I love you doing that.
Okay, so that's that piece off. And then there's the rear.
Mommy, I
Pop our
can't find
pins.
any gloves. I don't have any gloves.
Okay.
I want to use gloves. I want to use.
I know the entire world seems to know that you want to use gloves, my darling.
Can we buy some gloves?
Maybe.
Yay!
There's 1 and 2. And again, we've managed to keep the whole assembly together.
What can I
So
do,
we don't have to take
Mummy?
apart so many pieces.
Mummy,
The rear end now, so we've got that diff off.
Right, let's get the other bits off then. Now we can put our got our separator in. Kind of these. That is the, let's see, loose. Let's take these ones off the top. This one. Third one. Fourth one. And this one. And we'll do it for the other end as well. I believe it's going to be one piece. This one. And 4. Right.
Okay, so that's all of those screws. Now let's see if we can get this piece out. So as I understand it, it just pops up. Let's take the steering off. There we go. That's another one off. Don't want that knocking into anything. Okay, so that's that piece out. Can get the fan out, I guess. Maybe. Ah, one more screw for the fan. Okay, that should be the fan out. Yep, there we go. That's the fan piece out. I'm just going to pop that screw back in there a second. So let's lift out this central piece then, Edward, shall we? You done? There it goes. We don't really need the drill right now. Okay, so this is pretty difficult actually, Edward, to get off. It's quite stiff. Checking there's no other screws in there. So that's that piece, all come out. The motor's in there, so I think that's the motor mount, Edward. We can take that off now and then start transferring these internal pieces into the new car.
Okay, so take it up.
Wait a minute. So what we need to do is we need to start transferring these into the new car. So look, can you see all of this in here? So actually we don't need to take the motor out of there because the motor can stay in there for now. We need to take out the steering piece so that we can get the front gearing out. Okay, so that's that bit undone. Where's that screw, Edward? Where's it gone?
I'm holding it.
All right, thank you. So that's that piece and that piece. They are now out. Okay. Now we can take out the drive shaft. There we go. Let's move this old chassis over here and let's start putting the pieces into the new chassis. So first things first then, Edward, let's line up the gearing. Line that in. There we go, so that just drops in quite nicely actually. Ooh, we've lost one of the O-rings, let's pop that back along. Oops. Oops. Pop that O-ring back in. The O-rings just go on the edge of the bearings, Edward. Look, can you see the red O-ring? So it just goes on the edge of the bearing here. So that's just in there. And then this one.
Watch out for the roll.
Okay. Whoops, got that in backwards there. Oopsie. Okay, so let's line that up. That will drop in there. So that's the shaft in nicely. That sits in. It's free spinning. No friction there. Something else we need to do is take off the spoiler off the back. So it's one screw. Here's the spoiler off the back. That's the old chassis done with. Reattach the spoiler then, Edward. We'll get that on. So that slots in the back, and then we've got these 4 screws here. So we'll attach that first, and then we'll look to put the motor assembly back in. The spoiler bolted back in. So now let's have a look and slot this motor assembly back over the top. Yep, you need the screwdriver. So can you help me line this motor assembly up and just pop it back over the top?
Okay.
So it goes in the mounts. Can you push it in? Can you help push it in? Push down, that's it, good boy. Thank you. Right, so that is nicely seated in there. So now we need to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws. So we'll do that, and then we will look at putting the back end back together. Okay. Edward, can you screw in the fan for me? So I need you to screw in there. So I've slotted it in, you screw it, that's it. Edward, what we do is we've got the fan in, look. So let's just double check that's really tight. A few more screws in there. Right, so the ESC's lined up, okay. So look, here's your ESC, look, so that's lined up. It's from the cables through there so that they're not touching anything. And then we'll put the screws in the bottom, okay, so you can fix it in. What we need to do, look, is we need to get the drive shaft in. Okay. We don't need the drill immediately, sweetheart. It's a bit fiddly, this job, because we've got to get all these bits lined up all at once.
I
think we've got it.
This looks like it's the front, but it's the back. Right, there we go. That's the first side in. And we just repeat that, Edward, for the other side, okay? That's it. Okay, so we've got all 4 of those pins in. Now we can put the gearbox over. He's gonna do drilling.
Yes, yeah, we can drill these screws in now. Okay. You tighten it in then. You tighten those screws. So there's the 4 screws.
Which one do I need to tighten?
4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you tighten all 4 of those, okay? So hold the screwdriver nice and level. Do not have it on an angle. Nice and straight.
Can I do it next to you now? I'm a bit worried that it's just spinning, darling. I just want to check that it's actually nipping in time, this is.
Now then, next thing we need to do is the suspension.
This is a little bit fiddly, this bit, so what I'm going to do is this part on the construction. Yeah, I think I best do the suspension body. It's a bit fiddly, this. And by a bit fiddly, I mean... Have you taken that out again? Oh, I've got the wash. I've got the wash in there. Right, let me take that one.
Edward, suspension's all in. Drive shafts are working. Yes, we need to loosen this front end off, Edward, to put the steering back in. Now another option here could have been to completely remove that central brace, but we wanted to avoid that, and I actually found it very easy to slot the steering pins back in just using a screwdriver to get a little bit of purchase with the front screws and mid screw loosened on that central piece. This was fairly straightforward. I also found that by doing this it meant that I had something to guide the pins back into. Okay, that's all aligned, thank goodness. So tightening. So can you see, Edward, this is the steering, look. So this is the servo here. So I'll steer it left and right. And now it's all connected. Okay, so that's all in there. We'll get the next side in. Okay. Okay, that's the pins in. The differential.
Why are you touching raw stuff? Why are you touching raw? That's disgusting. Oh, sideways.
Bit of grease. On there. Okay, so that's a bit of grease on there, Edward. Okay, that's one side in. And so we'll put the other drive shaft in, Edward.
Yeah. 1 second.
You're checking it's recording, are you? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. That time I didn't know if it turned on or not, so I just checked. It was.
Okay, so look, Edward, can you see now?
Yes.
So you've got the arms in. I won't put the steering linkages on yet. What we'll do is we'll cover that over first. just
Okay.
To get it all in, so that goes on like that. Now repeat this for all 4 screws. I'm now going to screw the steering linkage back together. The steering linkage is on, and that's all working. Add the small screw cover now. I'm going to add the suspension to each side at the front of the car. Before I finish up, I always like to do a dry test run before putting the lid back on and putting away my tools. And the last bit, I'm adding screws back onto the base plates there. I'm not installing the metal guards at the moment because the extended screws for those were damaged. So I'm installing the screws that the car came with, and I will get some alternative longer screws of the metal guards at the hobby shop next week.
Please like, comment, subscribe. We're going to do a final test drive of the buggy in the garden. Please subscribe and watch all of my videos. Thank you.